that eviction exercise as illegal. Now, our reporter Alan Ochanda, who's based in Nakuru County, has been keenly following up on this story and now joins us live with an update. Alan Ochanda, good morning. What do you have for us on your side? Because you've seen a lot of political debates when it comes to the Mau eviction exercise.
What is it?
Well, Brenda, good morning to you. Indeed, we are in the Mau forest. Remember, it's a story that we're following up for the last 60 days, 2 months. Remember, the government had given the residents who had come to here, who had set here settlement houses here, 60 days window period to just vacate voluntarily. And unlike in the first phase of eviction, where houses were touched, this time around, no house was touched. And people were leaving this place smoothly, quite voluntarily. By yesterday, we were talking to the regional commissioner, that is George Natembeya in Nakuru, and he had indicated that the exercise was 96% successful. When we were making our way here in Mau, the remaining 4% was still leaving this area. We engaged some of them, and they were saying that they have no option but to leave because, as you can see, just who are flanking me, these are government officials led by none other than the Environment Cabinet Secretary, Keriako Tobiko, who has led the government's battalions here to just ensure that they carry out reforestation of the place that was initially inhabited by people, but the government termed it as forest land. And so I'm just joined by the Environment Cabinet Secretary, Keriako Tobiko, to just paint a picture of what they intend to do. How many hectares do they intend to just cover today? Because we've been seeing an airplane just up the skies, just dropping seeds to ensure that the reforestation exercise just is a success one. And so we are just joined by the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Keriako Tobiko, to paint a picture of what is happening here. How many other Cabinet Secretaries do we expect here? How many hectares do they intend to cover in the, during this day? Karibu sana Bwana Waziri. Maybe just give us a picture of what is happening on the ground. We can see you are carrying tree seedlings.
I'm sure you've been on the ground for longer than today. You've been here, I know. You've been reporting very factually, as well as the other media houses. We have not done anything secretly. The media, human rights organizations have been on the ground. So nothing has been done under the table. And you have witnessed it yourself. I'm here accompanied by my peers and the heads of various entities of the ministry and other government agencies. The 60-day period expired yesterday, midnight. And I can tell you, even long before it expired, and Natembeya was very correct, and 96% of the population had already voluntarily left. I say voluntarily, and it was done in the most humane and most judicious of manner. Contrary to what you hear politicians in funerals and in barazas alleging. I can tell you, and you can overfly the entire area that was settled and kept. You know, phase one, we did phase one last year in September, where we recovered 11,000 acres. Phase two, we have recovered, and it is actually now fully done. The few that had remained by yesterday, as you know, as you said correctly, have moved out. Actually, and are moving out. So we expect by today this phase two area and the entire of Masai Mau Forest Water Tower will have been fully reclaimed. And that has been done without firing a bullet, without burning a house, without clobbering anyone. In fact, you will have been told, we actually are providing transportation and facilitation for those who are moving out. All right? So the issue of reclamation is now fully done, and anyone who, because we've been hearing about politicians even as late as yesterday, saying people are not, our people are not going to move out. Well, they are mistaken. Or they are deliberately misleading. People have already moved out. Now, so that was the easy part, really. Moving out and reclaiming was the easy part. The difficult part, which is now what starts today, because today is just a launch, is to restore. Because the reason we have had to remove those who settled here illegally, because this is a water tower, gazetted water tower, a forest, that is so critical for our own survival. And not just survival of Kenyans resident in Narok, in the region, the entire Masai Mara National Park, Game Reserve, and the Mara Serengeti ecosystem, Lake Natron and Lake Victoria, all depend on the integrity of this. So we have now embarked on a major restoration exercise, which includes what we are doing today. Tree planting will continue today. We expect today here the manual planting of about 300, between 200 and 300 seedlings through 1,000, yes, seedlings manually. But similarly, today we intend also, and you've seen the aeroplane there, do aerial seeding of an area about 3,500 hectares. That will translate to about how many seedlings? For today is 4.5. On Tuesday,
Monday and Tuesday.
so cumulative to about 20 million by Tuesday. But that is just a fraction. The area that has been degraded, occupied illegally, and the destruction is about 22,000 acres. So we recovered 11,000 in phase 1. We have now recovered 22,000 in phase 2. So totaling almost around 35,000 acres of the most important and ecologically sensitive and biodiversity hotspots. We are also undertaking through water towers fencing exercise, and also the demarcation, the realignment of boundaries. We must follow the original boundaries as determined by Olentutu Boundary Commission in 1989. So this is not a place today for speeches. We are here, all of us. And this is not just the Ministry of Environment. It is the entire government. It is the people. It is our partners, non-state actors. We have received overwhelming support in terms of donation of seedlings, and we have representative of various non-state actors. The media has been absolutely fantastic, highlighting the level of degradation and destruction that has gone on in the Mau. Now, after this, then it is how to make sure that these atrocities that have been committed against this vital asset, okay? Because you can see the level of degradation. It's heart-wrenching, okay? This will never, again, this environmental disaster that has occurred over years because of politics, indecision, will never happen again. That is a promise that we as a government make.
Maybe Waziri, briefly, we've seen that we've been engaging those that were displaced from this place, and they are just camping at a place called Chapakundi. That's 2 kilometers away from this place. Maybe, will you be allowing them to come back? Remember, this is a place of plenty. Will you be allowing them to come back and harvest their crops?
That is something that we'll have to discuss. But first of all, the first things first, we must secure, okay? We must secure this land, because again, we do not want. And again, we have planted, or today we have planted, and we'll continue planting seedlings. And we have to make it very sure, to be certain, that people do not come back and harvest and also simultaneously engage in, negate so the modalities will be worked out, okay? And the rules of engagement will be ruled out. And I disagree with you. There are no IDPs. They are simulated. There are none that have been. You hear all these politicians talking about, but that really is not true.
But they are camping at a place called Chepakundi, just 2 kilometers from here. They have set up temporary camps, but the local authority had requested them to leave. They had given them an ultimatum to leave, but they stay put. They say they are not ceding any inch this time.
That I'm hearing from you. As far as the information I have from those who are, there is no IDP camp that has at all. Okay, that's what that has. Indeed, you will also notice this, because again, what you hear from politicians is that a particular community is being targeted. Nothing is far from the truth. We do not ask anyone which community you belong in. In fact, all communities, including Maasais, because other insinuations have been made that Tobiko is spearheading a personal agenda because he's Maasai. Even Maasais who had lived encroached on this forest have had to move. You will also realize that the communities that we have hired to do the pitting and the planting are communities living adjacent to the forest, okay? And we don't ask about which political party you belong in or which tribe you belong in. Let me also just make it clear for the record, because again, you hear and you've reported insinuations that this is a decision or an individual decision of Tobiko and Natembea. Nothing can be further from the truth. This is a government decision. And I am here representing the entire of the government. Yes.
Maybe finally, if we could just pop our noses into what Mr. Natembea told us. From here, you are heading to Embabut Forest to reclaim 5,000 hectares.
Please, can we take a step at a time? We will do what has to be done. We have a clear plan. But first things first, let's finish with Masai Mao, and it is a great day. Okay. It is a great day. Masai Mao is today.
Thanks, Sana Waziri. Brenda, that is the position of the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Keriako Tobiko. Remember that he's saying this is the position of the government. It's not a unilateral position from any other quarter, but a position from the government. Remember that the Sierra Leone Center that served as the economic nerve center here in Mau has been flattened. It's littered with holes, ready for the planting of seedlings so that they could just reclaim this place and make it a forest as intended from the word go. But it's a story that we're still keeping an eye so that we could just bring our viewers to speed in the subsequent bulletins, because it's a story that we've been chasing for the last 2 months.
Sorry, just a point of correction. Flattened by the residents themselves who are living, not by the law enforcement agencies. They themselves did.
That's exactly what we reported, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Brenda, that is the position of the government.